Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. For today's box opening, we're going to go back and take a look at a Phyrexia All-Be-One in the draft booster box form. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what kind of value we can find inside. So there's still quite a few cards from this set that are valued over $1 available to us in the draft booster box. In fact, there are 38 in total, and we've got 36 packs to go through, so maybe we'll get extremely lucky and see some significant value in this box. You never know. It has happened before. All right, so let's just go ahead and get cracking and enjoy these 36 packs. There are no tokens valued over $1, just so you're aware, unlike the Kamigawa box I opened on Monday, where I accidentally said there weren't any, but there were actually two. All right, so we've got ourselves here, starting off with a Vraska's Fall, a prologue to Phyrexia, Gold Warden's Helm, followed by an Ichor Split Basilisk. Then we're going to see a Barbed Batterfist with a Fleshless Gladiator, a Furnace Skull Bomb. Then we've got a Contagious Vorak with a Prophetic Prism. Then we're going to see a Hex Gold Slash, followed by Atraxas Skitterfang. Then we've got Feed the Infection with a Paladin of Predation. And our rare is going to be a Kemba Ka Enduring coming in out of white, not a high value rare. And then we are going to see ourselves a Full Art Swamp, followed by a Rebel Token. All right, so we'll just go ahead and kind of create some stacks here and plow through our 36 packs. So obviously the big ones to look for are going to be Elish Norn, Mondrak. We're also keeping an eye out for All Will Be One and Atraxa Grand Unifier, and even the Sword of Forge and Frontier. So this one starts off with a Gulping Scrap Trap, an Escaped Experiment, a Mandible Justicar, Thirsting Roots with a Hazardous Blast, Vraska's Fall, the Fair Basilica, Dross Skullbomb, a Ruthless Predation. Then we're going to see Gitaxian Raptor with a Plated Onslaught, a Charforger, a Chitterling Skitterling, and then we're going to see Urabrask's Forge coming in as another rare with a Phyrexian Mountain here. And then we're going to see ourselves a non-token token. All right, next pack, we got ourselves a Titanic Growth with a Hazardous Blast, Vraska's Fall, Prologue to Phyrexia, a Mirian Bardache, Ichor Split Basilisk, Complete Devotion, Mir Kinsmith, with a Tyrannix Atrocity, Cephalopod Sentry, then a Bladed Ambassador with a Watchful Blisterzoa, and we're going to see a Mercurial Spelldancer coming in as our rare, with a Tyrannix Atrocity in foil. And then we're going to see ourselves a Standard Mountain with a Poison Counter token in the back. So we'll make a little separate pile for our foils over here. Foils in this set don't necessarily hold a high multiplier unless you get some of the high value cards. So then we got ourselves a Meldweb Strider with a Charge of the Mites, followed by a Titanic Growth, Blazing Crescendo with an Annihilating Glare, Bring the Ending, Sawblade Scamp, Blightbelly Rat and Showcase with a Meldweb Curator, Planar Disruption. Then we're going to see an Oxida Finisher with a Minor Misstep, followed by a Viral Spawning, and we're going to see an Evolved Spinal Derm coming in as our rare with a Standard or Panorama Island, and then another non-token token. All right, so we got another Prologue to Phyrexia, Gold Warden's Helm, an Ichor Split Basilisk, Barbed Batterfist, Fleshless Gladiator with a Meldweb Strider, the Surgical Bay. Then we're going to see an Offer Immortality with an Axiom Engraver, a Maze Skullbomb, an Infested Flesh Cutter, Incubation Sac, an Ossification, and then we're going to see Karamonix the Rat King coming in as our rare with a Phyrexian Island, and Koth Fire of Resistance as an emblem / token. All right, so we got the Barbed Batterfist with the Mandible Justicar, Fleshless Gladiator, Thirsting Roots, Blazing Crescendo, Mirror Custodian, an Experimental Augury with a Shieldred's Head Cleaver. Then we're going to see a Terramorphic Expanse with a Scheming Aspirant, then a Serum Core Chimera with a Resistance Reunited, and our first rare is going to be an Ovika Enigma Goliath, followed by the Wandering Emperor in foil. Very nice to see that. I'll take that rare. Then we see a Panorama Plains with a Phyrexian Might token, which also is a Phyrexian Beast. It's a double-sided token. All right, so one foil rare so far. That's pretty cool. It may not be high value, but that's all right. We got ourselves a Mirian Bardache, Carnivorous Canopy with a Furnace Strider, a Duress, Chrome Prowler, Basilica Shepherd, Quicksilver Fisher, the Fair Basilica, Zealot's Conviction with a Draw Skullbomb, a Serum Snare, Churning Reservoir, Vat of Rebirth, and we're going to see an Ichor Moon Gauntlet coming in. This is going to hold some value, just over $4. So that's a pretty good hit for us. Then we're going to see ourselves a Phyrexian Forest and a Phyrexian Might. So that may be our first mythic of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and separate that out. Maybe we'll keep track of the mythics that way. They're always covered in the MTG box analysis at the end of all box openings. But, you know, just throughout the 20-minute journey. So we get a Charge of the Mites, Titanic Growth, Blazing Crescendo, Annihilating Glare with a Bring the Ending, Rustvine Cultivator, Flensing Raptor, Basilica Skullbomb, the Hunter Maze. Then we've got a Mirror Convert in Showcase with a Distorted Curiosity, Hex Gold Halberd, and our rare is going to be a Mercurial Spelldancer. I believe that's a repeat. And then we got a Basilica Skullbomb in foil with a Panorama Forest and a Phyrexian Goblin in the back. Still a fan of the Phyrexian lands. They're one of the, at least I would say, the 2023 favorite set of lands for me. Then we get an Escaped Experiment, Annihilating Glare, Bring the Ending, Gold Warden's Helm, Carnivorous Canopy, the Koldatha Crackler with a Gitaxian Raptor, Ruthless Predation, Sawblade Scamp and Showcase with a Blightbelly Rat right behind it, Porcelain Zealot, Necrogen Communion with a Magmatic Sprinter, and then we're going to see a Tablet of Completion coming in as our rare with a Panorama Swamp and the Hallowed Sentinel as a token. So far, not a ton of value in this box, but I have sometimes when you don't see a lot of value, it eventually just sneaks up on you. So hopefully we see that. So this pack starts off with a Prophetic Prism, an Adaptive Spore Singer, Free from Flesh, Pestilent Siphoner with a Gitaxian Anatomist, Duelist of Deep Faith, a Plague Nurse, Aspirant's Ascent, Volshock Splitter with a Dune Mover, then a Shieldred's Edict. This is going to be an uncommon, valued over $1. Then we're going to see a Silavog Battle Chair with a Tamio's Logbook. And we're going to see Solobad Iron Goblin coming in. Very cool to see one of the showcase rares coming in. Followed by a Phyrexian Swamp. Very nice. So this is going to be one of the basic lands currently valued over $1 at $1.53. And then we got ourselves a Rebel token. All right, this one kicks off with a Duress, Chrome Prowler, Basilica Shepherd, Adaptive Spore Singer, Forgehammer Centurion, a Flensing Raptor with a Meldweb Curator, Mirror Custodian, the Hunter Maze, a Noxious Assault with a Voidwing Hybrid, then a Reject Imperfection, and our rare is going to be Kaya the Intangible Slayer coming in. Very nice to see Kaya here. That's our second Planeswalker of the box. Then we get a Mirror Convert in foil with a Panorama Mountain and a Phyrexian Might token in the back. All right, moving into pack number 12 here. Finishing off stack number 1. That pack disintegrated. So we got a Mirian Bardache, Carnivorous Canopy, Furnace Strider, Duress, Chrome Prowler, Basilica Shepherd, with Anoint with Affliction, a Sinew Dancer, followed by a Surgical Skull Bomb, a Phyrexian Atlas, Nahiri's Sacrifice, Font of Progress, then a Jawbone Duelist, and our rare is going to be Graz the Unstoppable Juggernaut, followed by Panorama Plains and a Phyrexian Golem in the back. All right, moving into stack number 2 here. So we got an Oil Gorger Troll with a Forge Hammer Centurion, Infectious Inquiry, Malakator's Watcher, Vanish into Eternity, with a Lattice Blade Mantis, Shieldred's Head Cleaver, Experimental Augury, Rustfying Cultivator, Planner Disruption, a Rib Skiff with a Furnished Punisher and Showcase, a Slaughter Singer, and then we're going to see a Blue Sun's Twilight coming in as our rare with a Phyrexian Mountain and a Phyrexian Goblin / Cat in the back. All right, this one kicks off with the Prism, followed by the Spore Singer, Free from Flesh, Pestilent Siphoner, Gataxian Anatomist. We're going to see Duelist of Deep Faith, Chimney Rabble, with the Dross Pits, the Bone Picker Scourge, followed by a Nimraiser Paladin. Then we're going to see an Evolving Adaptive with a Rebel Salvo. And we're going to see a Mirian Safe House coming in as our first rare. And behind that, we are going to see Mondrak Glory Dominus in foil. This is going to be a tremendous hit in non-foil. This is valued around $22. That is awesome. Put Mondrak right there. And then we get an island and a Rebel token. Fantastic. We're finally seeing some value out of this draft booster box. Hopefully that trend continues. So we got the Pestilent Siphoner with the Gataxian Anatomist, the Incisor Glider, Oil Gorger Troll, Free from Flesh, with an Infectious Inquiry, Terramorphic Expanse, Basilica Skull Bomb, Plague Nurse, Dune Mover, Vat Emergence, Transplant Theorist. Then we're going to see an Armored Scrap Gorger with a Phyrexian Obliterator coming in. Very nice to see this. Value just over $6. Another Mythic. Then we're going to see the Phyrexian Plains with a Phyrexian Horror. All right, now we're starting to cook a little bit. All right, this one starts off with a Molten Rebuke, Cruel Grimmark, Vivisurgeon's Insight, Crawling Chorus, with a Predation Steward, Shrapnel Slinger. Then we get the Autonomous Furnace, Furnace Skull Bomb, Contagious Vorak, Prophetic Prism, Atmosphere Surgeon, Veil of Assimilation, Necrogen Rot Priest, and we're going to see the Mirrex coming in as our rare, value just over $1. Then we get a Panorama Forest with a Phyrexian Might token in the back. All right, so we got the Oil Gorger Troll, Forge Hammer Centurion, Infectious Inquiry, Malakator's Watcher, Vanish into Eternity, the Lattice Blade Mantis, Volshock Splitter, Aspirant's Ascent, followed by a Sinew Dancer, Vivisection Evangelist. Then we're going to see a Hex Gold Hover Wings with a Tainted Observer, and our rare is going to be Malira the Living Cure, followed by an Ossification in foil with a Panorama Mountain and a Phyrexian Goblet in the back. I think this will take us right around the halfway point. So far, so good. If I recall, we're probably around $35 to $40 in high-value cards, plus everything else. So we got a Stinging Hive Master, an Eye of Malakator, Incisor Glider, Skyclaith Engulfer, Bladecraft Aspirants, with a Testament Bearer. Then we're going to see a Hex Gold Slash, Complete Devotion, a Mere Kinsmith, with a Tyrannix Atrocity, an Exuberant Fuseling, followed by an Annex Sentry. Then we got Expand the Sphere, and then we're going to see Malakator Purity Overseer coming in. So another showcase, borderless, not sure which, rare, very cool. especially for a draft box. Then we get ourselves a swamp and a drone token in the back. All right, so we got Malakator's Watcher, Vanish into Eternity, the Mantis, the Rebuke, the Centurion, the Skull Bomb, Anoint with Affliction, Chimney Rabble, with the Phyrexian Atlas, the Infectious Bite, the Trawler Drake, Urbrask Anointer, and we're going to see the Filigree Silex coming in as our rare, with an Infectious Inquiry in foil, a Phyrexian Forest, and a Phyrexian Goblin. The Phyrexian Forest is also valued over $1, just at $1.12. So we got a Molten Rebuke, Cruel Grimnarch, Vivisurgeon's Insight, Crawling Chorus, with the Steward, the Slinger, the Surgical Bay, Offer Immortality, Axiom Engraver, Maze Skullbomb, Ambulatory Edifice, Gleeful Demolition, with Against All Odds, and we're going to see a Mind Splice Apparatus coming in as our rare, with Panorama Planes, and a Phyrexian Might token. It's going to take a half a second here and break down some of these common uncommons. Don't want to knock them over, makes sorting them significantly more hard at the end of the video. All right, so we got a Vivisurgeon's Insight, Crawling Chorus, Predation Steward, Shrapnel Slinger, Cruel Grimmarch, Eye of Malakator, the Surgical Bay, Bone Picker Scourge, Furnace Skullbomb, Contagious Vorak. We're going to see Tyvar Stand. This is going to be another uncommon, valued over $1 at $1.33, with a Ravenous Necrotian. Get over there, Tyvar. Then we're going to see Awaken the Sleeper, with the Monumental Facade coming in as our rare. Then we're going to see ourselves in Panorama Island and a Poison Counter. I want to take just a quick second to let you all know about the sponsor of the video, trollandtoad.com. So Troll and Toad has been a card store online for, well, I don't know if they've been online for about 30 years, but they've been a card store for about 30 years now, have a really good reputation in the industry, and I have partnered with them to save you all 5% off any item directly sold by them. So just head on over to trollandtoad.com and use my code MTGBOX5 to save 5% off of your purchase at checkout. It doesn't apply to the merchant items on their site, just the ones sold by them, but that's pretty easy to see based upon the icons on the screen. So, trollandtoad.com. All right, so we got ourselves a Meld Web Strider, an Indoctrination Attendant, Copper Longlegs, with a Thrill of Possibility, Cutthroat Centurion, Mesmerizing Dose, with a Quicksilver Fisher. We're going to see the Fair Basilica, with a Zealot's Conviction, a Resistance Skywarden, then a Cinder Slash Ravager, followed by Apostle of Invasion, and we're going to see a Borderless Razor Verge Thicket coming in. Very nice to see that. Does hold some value, just over $2. And then we're going to see a Sawblade Scamp with a Phyrexian Island and a non-token token. So that's, I'll call it 3 featured rares in this draft booster box. So we've seen 2 showcase rares plus now a borderless rare. Very cool. So we got ourselves a Stinging Hive Master with an Eye of Malakator, an Incisor Glider, Skyclaith Ungulfer, Bladecraft Aspirant, with the Testament Bearer, the Autonomous Furnace, Hexgold Slash, Complete Devotion, Droth Skullbomb, Necro Skeeto, with Tamiyo's Immobilizer, a Kanker Bloom, and we're going to see Geth, Thane of Contracts coming in as our rare, followed by a Panorama Forest and a Rebel token in the back. All right, moving into our last stack of the, well, actually, this is the last pack of stack number 2. So pack number 24 here. So we've got the Duelist of Deep Faith, Skyclaith Engulfer, Bladecraft Aspirant, Testament Bearer, the Glistener Seer, Indoctrination Attendant, the Droth Skullbomb, Gataxian Raptor, Ruthless Predation with a Sawblade Scamp, then an Ichorplate Golem Unnatural Restoration, a Thrumming Bird, and our rare is going to be a Seachrome Coast, coming in from the main set, valued just over $2, with a Panorama Swamp, and a Phyrexian Horror in the back. Now we're stepping into stack number 3, so we got 12 more chances to see another big hit, although Mondrak in foil is a pretty good hit. So we got a Leonin Lightbringer, Amaze's Mantle, Volt Charge, Whisper of the Dross, Ichor Synthesizer, Tyrannix Atrocity, the Dross Pits, Offer Immortality, Axiom Engraver, Cephalopod Sentry, Paladin of Predation. We're going to see a Drown in Ichor, and we're going to see Malira, the Living Cure, coming in the showcase treatment. Very nice. With the Seed Core as a foil rare. Then we get the Phyrexian Swamp, another $1.50, and then a Poison Counter. That was a pretty decent little pack there. 2 rares and a basic land valued over $1. All right, so we get the Meldweb Strider for this pack, the Indoctrination Attendant, Copper Longlegs, Thrill of Possibility, Cutthroat Centurion, another Mesmerizing Dose, Blightbelly Rat, Flensing Raptor, Meldweb Curator, Mere Custodian, Billowas Skull Dweller with a Swooping Lookout, an Unctus Retrofitter, and we're going to see an Unctus Grand Meditech coming in as our rare. With Panorama Mountain and another non-token token. Seeing a lot of non-token tokens in this box. Doesn't matter. The tokens, it's not taking away value from the tokens, at least not anything significant. So we got ourselves another Longlegs, Thrill of Possibility, the Hive Master, Mesmerizing Dose, the Lightbringer, Volt Charge, Kinsmith, the Fisher, Zealot's Conviction, the Fair Basilica, Venomous Brutalizer, Ossification, Feed the Infection, with Kato Dancing Shadow coming in. So that's our 3rd Planeswalker. Very nice. Then we got ourselves an Island and a Phyrexian Goblin in the back. All right, so we got the Orthodoxy Edificer, the Stalker, the Strider, the Scrap Trap, the Seer, Charge of the Mites, the Hunter Maze, Shieldred's Head Cleaver, Experimental Augury. Then we're going to see the Cultivator, the Cacophony Scamp, Plated Onslaught, Chitterling Skitterling, with a Norn's Wellspring as our rare, Panorama Plains, and a Mite, Poison Counter, double-sided token. All right, so we got this one. Starts off with a Leonin Lightbringer, Maze's Mantle, Volt Charge, Whisper of the Dross, with an Ichor Synthesizer, a Maze Skull Bomb, Gataxian Raptor, with a Sawblade Scamp. Then we're going to see a Ruthless Predation, Prophetic Injector, or Prosthetic Injector, Bladehold War Whip, a Watchful Blister Zoa, and we're going to see an Unctus Grand Meditech coming in Showcase with a Viral Spawning in foil, and then we're going to see a Phyrexian Mountain with a Rebel token. I think we're down to about 7 packs here. Would really like to see one more card valued over $10 to make sure that we at least see that our value come back. So we got a Maze's Mantle, the Dross, Ichor Synthesizer, the Enforcer, the Stalker, the Crackler, Planar Disruption, Terramorphic Expanse, the Skull Bomb, the Plague Nurse, with the Charforger. Then we're going to see an Oxida Finisher, with a Minor Misstep, and an Ichor Moon Gauntlet. All right, so that's 2 of that mythic in this box. Very cool. And then we're going to see, oh, there was a swamp behind that, but then we see a Phyrexian Goblin Beast. We'll go ahead and get our swamp out of our mythic pile here. Too bad those were not Elish Norn duplicates from a mythic perspective. I'm sure there's a box out there with 2 of them. All right, so we got a Titanic Growth, Hazardous Blast, Vraska's Fall, Prologue to Pyresis, Mirian Bardachet, an Ichor Split Basilisk, Blight Belly Rat, Meldweb Curator, the Raptor, the Mere Custodian, the Infested Flesh Cutter with the Incubation Sac, the Bladed Ambassador, and we're going to see Rhea Ivor Bane of Bladehold coming in as our rare, with a Phyrexian Island and a Poison Counter. Alright, so we got ourselves an Orthodoxy Enforcer with a Blanche Blight Stalker, a Furnace Strider, Gulping Scrap Trap, Glistener Seer, Charge of the Mites, Dune Mover, Bolshok Splitter. Then we're going to see an Aspirant's Ascent, followed by a Scheming Aspirant, a Viral Spawning, Serum Core Chimera, and our rare is going to be Solobad Iron Golem, followed by Carnivorous Canopy in foil with a Forest and a Rebel token in the back. All right, so we are down to 4 packs. 4 chances left. Fingers crossed. All right, so we got the Scrap Trap, followed by the Escaped Experiment, Mandible Justiciar, Thirsting Roots, Hazardous Blast, Vraska's Fall, Terramorphic Expanse, Shieldred's Head Cleaver, Experimental Augury, Rustifying Cultivator, Atraxas Skitterfang, a Serum Snare, Churning Reservoir, and we're going to see Nahiri the Unforgiving coming in. So now I think we've gotten all the Planeswalkers. None of them in Phyrexian, though. Then we're going to see ourselves a Mountain with a Phyrexian Might token in the back. Yeah, I think that's 4 Planeswalkers so far. So this is definitely, that's, I guess, the theme of the box. So we get a Titanic Growth with a Hazardous Blast, Vraska's Fall, Prologue to Pyresis, Mirian Bardachet, Ichor Split Basilisk, Sinew Dancer, Surgical Skull Bomb, Anoint with Affliction, Chimney Rabble, Mirror Converts, Resistance Reunited. We're going to see a Hex Gold Halberd with a Blade of Shared Souls coming in as our rare. We're going to see a Phyrexian Plains with a Phyrexian Horror in the back. All right, 2 more chances to go. At least let me see another Mythic. That would be my ask. So we got a Barbed Batterfist, Fleshless Gladiator, the Escaped Experiment, the Mandible Justiciar, Thirsting Roots, Planar Disruption, the Hunter Maze, followed by the Basilica Skullbomb, Plague Nurse, Porcelain Zealot, Vat of Rebirth, Reject Imperfection, and we're going to see an Archfiend of the Dross coming in as our rare with a Rebel Salvo in foil and a Panorama Plains with a cat. All right, final pack. Will we get lucky? I guess we got a 50-50 chance, lucky or unlucky, right? So we got a Prologue to Pyresis, Gold Warden's Helm, Ichor Split Basilisk, Barbed Batterfist, Fleshless Gladiator, Meldweb Strider, Phyrexian Atlas, the Surgical Bay, the Bone Picker Scourge, a Furnace Skullbomb, Distorted Curiosity, Silavok Battle Chair. Then we're going to see Shieldred's Edict, another uncommon, valued over $1, with a Black Cleave Cliffs coming in at the end, is valued just over $2. And we get ourselves a Phyrexian Forest, valued over $1, and a Rebel token in the back. All right, so give me just a minute. I'll get everything sorted, organized, and be right back with the MTG box analysis. We'll begin today's MTG box analysis by taking a look at the cards that we were eligible to obtain from a draft booster box and compare that to the cards that we actually saw. Then we'll review set coverage, coverage by rarity, and duplication. To establish a baseline for value, we'll analyze the value of the set and then break down the actual observed value in the box by foil and non-foil. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and more than 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Let's jump into the contents of this box by comparing the cards that we were eligible to see versus the cards that we actually saw. Using this chart, we can see the non-foils we observed in green, the foils we observed in orange, and the cards we were eligible to see in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw a variance of 15 cards between the primary colors of Magic, with red featuring 71 and blue featuring 86. We also saw 11 showcase cards and 2 borderless cards in non-foil. In the foil space, we saw between 1 and 3 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, except for blue, where we didn't see any foils. Moving into coverage, we saw 230 unique cards out of a possible 343. This means that we saw 67% of the cards that we were eligible to see inside of today's box. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in blue with 92% coverage. In the foil space, we saw 12 of the 343 cards, giving us just 3% coverage of the set. This time around, our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was a tie between white and green, each seeing 8% coverage. Pivoting the coverage by rarity, in the non-foil space, we saw 98% of the commons and 93% of the uncommons, along with 31 rares for 34% coverage and 3 non-foil mythics for 6% coverage. In the foil space, we saw 5% of the commons and uncommons, along with 2 rares for 2% coverage and a single mythic, also good for 2% coverage. In total, this draft booster box contained 34 rares and 5 mythics in 36 packs. In today's box, we didn't see any duplication among the 12 foils that we saw, but we did see 141 non-foils repeated 298 times for a box duplication rate of 55%. Before we take a look at the value in today's draft booster box, let's review the value of the cards that we could have pulled to establish a baseline. This chart shows all the cards that we can pull from a draft booster pack using non-foil market prices as of June 13th, 2023. Excluding the concept Praetors, there are a few cards to keep an eye out for. They are the Phyrexia Grand Unifier in Showcase, which is valued at $22.11, Mondrak Glory Dominus, also in Showcase, valued at $22.21, or Mondrak in Standard Frame, valued at $22.54. Or keep an eye out for any Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, in any frame that you can get her in. The set also features 11 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 44 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 273 cards are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the market value of all 343 cards using non-foil market prices, you'd be looking at $687.17 in market value. Now let's take a look at the actual value that we saw in today's box, starting off in the non-foil space. We didn't see any of the 15 cards valued over $10, and only a single card within the $5 to $10 range, and that was the Phyrexian Obliterator, valued at $6.03. We did see 15 of the 44 cards valued over $1, though. The remaining 512 non-foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. In the foil space, we got pretty darn lucky seeing Mondrak Glory Dominus valued at $26.07 in foil. We also saw one other foil valued over $1, but the remaining 10 foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box through a Patreon agreement for $89 even. The current market price for these boxes as of June 13th, 2023 is $95.75. Today's draft booster box contained 36 packs, each with 15 cards, allowing us to see a total of 540 cards. The 32 tokens that we saw have a current market value of $6.88. The 36 basic lands are currently valued at $16.58, thanks mostly due to the 13 Phyrexian full art lands that we saw. The 343 commons are currently valued at $14.89. The 122 uncommons are currently valued at $14.35. The 34 rares have a current market value of $17.12, and finally, the 5 mythics are valued at $41.58. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $111.41 in market value, which is a gain of $22.41 over the price I paid, and means that we saw a return of 125% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw just 7 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined value of $48.40, which means that those 7 cards represent 43% of the total box value. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.